So she used that against me to close the restaurants, and I believe to get the money from the franchises.
A British man completely broke and being scammed by a Filipina for 7 million pieces. And I know most of you maybe heard of this because this viral story really dominating on your feed right now on Facebook and news headlines and painting the Filipina by damaging brush. What if I told you that this story, this viral story that you've seen online is just a half-truth of the entire story? But what if I told you that this victim is just feeling sorry because he's trying to hide the dark past? That is the reason why he's stuck over here in the Philippines. Welcome to the Culture Compass PH, and today we are going to dive into a topic about this foreigner. Story of this foreigner that got triggered of thousands of people that left angry in the comments section, that trying to generalize right nowadays about the Filipinas, like why Filipinas are being like this, but what is the real story behind this? Because this is actually a case that we are trying to solve, and this is the base, also the part of the side story of this woman, why this foreigner ended up struggling over here in the Philippines. So when this video really got uploaded, it talks a lot of, it goes viral. It even goes to 2 million views, and Filipinos are screaming in online said, "Gold digger, why some Filipinas are being like this?" Just because when people always say they one side of the story, and like especially the victim are trying to victimize himself and try to tell the story, so people always try to believe, always try to make a one assumption without hearing the other side of the story. But today, since I saw this woman, a partner, ex-Filipinas of him, we are going to dig deeper why it happens, why he became homeless, why he told his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife that she's a gold digger. Comment section, it's like screaming the toxicity of the Filipinas and why expats need to look out to it.
When we dig beneath the surface, completely different harrowing pictures begin to emerge. According to the sources, an investigation into the woman's side of the story, this wasn't a case of a woman running away with cash just for fun. This was a woman running away for her own survival. The allegation coming from her side. Paint a picture of severe domestic abuse. Imagine being trapped in a household with someone who is constantly abusing, controlling, and very volatile. Money becomes secondary when your physical safety is on the line. She didn't just leave him broke, she's fully an abusive environment. While it goes deeper, why didn't he just pack up and go back to the UK if he was so miserable and poor? Why is he begging on the streets instead of avoiding a fight home?
There is a truth to it. The reason why he cannot flew back to his country because he is facing a criminal charges going to his country as a sex offender. We all know that a lot of foreigners running away in Southeast Asia because sometimes you can just try to pay someone to make you feel safe from the legal matters that you are facing, right? So a lot of foreigners coming to our country just to get away from the sin they were committed back home. So this guy, this is one of the big reasons why he will not going to go back to his country. According to the source, according to the message that this girl, that this wife posting on her channel, on her Facebook page, it said there that supposedly Martin needs to, already got a flight back home because the wife booked him a ticket already, which is a connecting flight from Cebu to Manila. But Martin big to just at least see each other for the last time. But then they talk again. They trying to fix their relationship, and then the both of them went back to Cebu because they were, that sometimes a woman like giving a chance, more chances because she thought that he was gonna be okay, from the abusive treats, from this because sometimes people in social media, you can just feed off like believing because of one story without any reset on it because sometimes we feel bad or we all try to stereotype that Filipinas are always after money, but this is the different story because this is not this is really getting crazier because it will gonna add up to stereotypes like that, but because it is way more important to hear the other side of the story, why it happens.
Have a live-in partner right after you were separated with Ma'am Gay, no? And that was in December. You have a live-in partner, though you are married with Ma'am Gay. That live-in partner named Alma. So Alma is with us right now. Oh, you can actually also identify Alma if she's the one whom you have lived together after you were separated with Gay. Ha? Sige. Ma'am Gay, napas Ma'am Gay sa linya. Naputol na sad, giputol na. Si Ma'am Alma, ipasod to Ma'am Alma. So, what happened to your relationship with Alma? Although I understand that you are no longer having someone to lean on, you're in the streets, you're living homeless since December, until when?
April.
April. So that's
Almost 4 months.
4 months.
4 to 5
Yes.
months or 5 months, no? Okay, so there's nothing happened.
Nothing.
No sexual, it was not a sexual relationship. Sir Martin, Ma'am Alma just told us that you have a relationship.
We live in the same house, yes.
No, unsay bot pasabot nimo na nagkarelasyon mo ma'am na ay sexual nga nahitabo ninyo?
Oo, naayod, sir.
Oh, Sir Martin, something sexual happened with you and Ma'am Alma.
Kelly.
Ha?
No.
No?
This channel, guys, we are not going to create a unfair stigma with just a foreigner story, with this Filipina story, because hearing the both side, actually, it makes me realize that there is also a problem with this foreigner, because he always have the chance to go back to his country, right, and find it out. He's totally a problem, because you cannot really always say to people that yeah, you can lie on social media. You can lie to people because every people, whenever they say this kind of story, they always believe it. But like the people around them, the people who used to live with them, they always know the story, and this story actually like valuable because there is a research to it from this woman. Yes, I truly believe that it's really okay to invest into a relationship, especially for this type of thing, but it doesn't mean that you can just be more abusive to your partner because you put up a lot of money to it. You can own her, you can do whatever you want because you put up some money to it. This is actually the problem of some foreigners, because they thought that it's okay, I can just give her a lot of money, I can just invest her more a lot so that I can do whatever I want to do with her. I can abuse her, I can make her even more like not so worth it to live in this world, because if you're gonna do that to this Filipina, and then like especially you're going to say bad things to them in front of many people, that's already out of respect. Like it's already, you're disrespecting your partner just because you give a lot into a relationship, especially financially. Most Filipinas should actually think about this really. Like you need to know your partner, because you don't really know behind closed door. You don't really know. Because as part of my experience, guys, like I thought like, everything is genuine like that, but along the way, we will eventually know who's this partner of ours. Like that, just don't always jump into a conclusion that he's going to be my forever just because you think that this foreigner will going to help you out of your poverty. And I know a lot of you think about that way, which is this is quite a lesson for us all, that we need to dig deeper into this person, because we don't know why he's here in the Philippines, why he is rushing to marry you. Sometimes it built through online, through assumption, without getting to know the stereotypes on it. I'm not even sure if there's broke people are here in the Philippines. Is that maybe because they're Filipinas, abandoning them after scamming them? Well, there are some maybe, but like there are some stories like this also, are like quiet people, or that they leave their partners just because too abusive, too disrespectful for them, like that. But she's actually like I can really tell that this girl is not really running away, since there is a reason to it, and then it's not all built on a lie. That is why sometimes online is really scary because it builds, most of the story are built on a lie, and but built on a lie, people trying to victimize themselves, trying to feeling victims, so that Filipinas are going to have a really bad images. That is why I always tell to everyone that take your time there, because there are a lot of Filipinas will going to take advantage you, but there are some Filipinos are genuine as well. So we're not here to stereotypes, generalize Filipinos and foreigners. So let's just try to take our time to finding the love of our life, because we're here, we don't want to be ended up like this kind of situations. So don't always think also, guys, that because you gave a lot in a relationship, you can do whatever, you can abuse, you can be a cheater, you can like do whatever you want. This story is not about the 7 million scam. It's about fleeing himself away from the legal status that he's facing back home. I think because no one will going to waste his time if he knows that he will going to go broke over here in the Philippines, and then his ex-wife already giving him, or like buying a ticket going back to his home country. Then yeah, I will going to definitely going to go back to my home country, because I can work over there, and if I love the Philippines too much, I can work there and go back here and then have a better life. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section what is your thought in regards with this topic, and especially this is quite interesting topic. The 7 it's really totally a lot, yeah. But anyway, guys, just stay amazing. We need to always have this kind of thinking that good doings always have a good karma, but bad doings always a bad karma. So yeah, but if you're facing right now in a difficulty times, doesn't mean because you are doing bad, but because there is more greater in the future. Yeah, we always need to think about that, because in regards with this topic, bad doings, bad karma. So yeah, that story is we are unfolding. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have amazing weekend.